What is up, Sooner Nation? Happy Tuesday night to you. Welcome back to the Sooner Surge. Good to see everybody on here tonight. When we left you last night, the talk in the comments was about the Thunder and how this series is over. Few people said it's for sure over. I said I thought they were going to lose last night when they were getting beat by, I think it was 13 at the time we were on the live. They miraculously come back and win that game, Hunter, and didn't play that well and got the win. That's huge. It's a totally different series now, 2-2, going back to Oklahoma City tomorrow night. Huge W for the Thunder, man. We are live, Okie Long Guy. I'm glad to see you switch your name back to Okie Long Guy, not Mrs. Moser.
That's what I was going to say, Jay. But, yeah, the Thunder shoot 26% from three and still win it. Just SGA takeover at the end of the game. J-Dub picking up at the end from, one of his worst games probably of his career, it seems like. At one point he was like 3 of 15. So, big time win. And, the series is even going back to Oklahoma City. Got the City Connects tomorrow night.
I
the
saw
City
that.
Court. And that's pretty cool that they're doing that for a playoff game.
For a playoff game, cool. Hunter, you got your hair cut? Teresa says not that.
I had to cut my hair. My work makes me, unfortunately. So.
Wow, Colin is going to the game tomorrow. I am jealous, man. That's unbelievable. Okie Long Guy, are you not Miss Moser? We thought it was you, Okie Long Guy. Come on now. Brett, dude, what's up, bro? Good to see you on here.
I'm pretty sure that Okie Long Guy was Mrs. Moser.
I think Okie Long Guy was Mrs. Moser. That's right. He definitely is, Bobby said. Hey, OU basketball, I saw it in here. We saw it today on Twitter. OU got a commit from the Alabama center, backup center, whatever you want to call it. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, he didn't average anything, 3 points. You know what I'll say about it? He's an athletic big guy, and that's something they haven't gotten. So we'll see. I don't think it's anything that's just going to be groundbreaking. It's going to go out there and just dominate, but I think it does give you a guy with some athletic ability, because we all know Godwin's a okay player, but he's not when you go against athletic guys, he gets destroyed. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. It's nothing like, and I think Brett's right on with that. Any commit is good at OU. At least we can field a team now. That's right. And they got one more spot, I believe, Hunter. There's a guy I think that's in there visiting right now, but we'll see. But yeah, other than that, man, not a whole lot going on. Recruiting is getting ready to ramp up here. Early June. A lot of stuff on Twitter today about June 21st through the 23rd. Official visits happening for that event. Jackson says if Game 7 happens, he will be there. No way, dude. You're not going to Game 7, are you? Jackson, that'd be unbelievable.
Tickets right now I'm looking at them for Game 5 or 140. So, Okie, I'm not working for Skip Johnson, not working for the baseball team. So,
Monty says maybe Moser can get Smitty to put some weight on the transfer guy from Bama and toughen him up. Yeah, we'll see. I think I agree with Brett though. At this point, anybody you can get.
That is true. You have to build a team, but at the same time, this is now his fourth school in as many years. 3 points a game last year. He's not going to start over Sam Godwin.
Hey, Colin, I would say Gerald Moore. I don't know if I'm right.
I'm going Mike Gaddis.
No, Gaddis was a lot earlier.
Yeah. Okay, my bad.
Gerald Moore, James Allen is what I would guess, but Thunder and Lightning there. I don't know if I'm right.
Back to Mike Gaddis, though. He was unbelievable.
Do you know Mike Gaddis' number?
32.
Yep. Hey, look at that, baby. I know my OU football there. He was a stud, too. You talk about a guy, he's short, but, man, he was built like Schmitty. What was I going to talk about? Something. Oh, how about the news today with Doug Gottlieb? Were you shocked by that?
I don't know what you're talking about. I worked there.
He got hired as a coach.
Where at?
Green Bay.
Green Bay.
But here's the weird deal. He's the new head coach, but he's going to keep his radio show.
Really?
On Fox. Yeah.
I don't know if you've been keeping up with the NBA. Udonis Haslam is on one of the ESPN shows now. They're talking about the whole JJ Redick deal and how, like, if he was to be the next Lakers coach, should he be allowed to keep his podcast with LeBron?
Why couldn't he?
Udonis Haslam was pretty much just like, oh, that's if like I'm a player, I would be upset with that because it would kind of be pretty much known that LeBron is running the show.
He already is, Hunter.
Exactly.
What the heck?
It's weird. I think it's weird that JJ Redick is being considered as the next head coach of the Lakers. Hasn't coached anywhere yet.
Hunter, they've tried this so many times in the NBA. You can go back to many of the guys that have gotten gigs in the NBA that never coached at all. I mean, you can go back to Tyronn Lue. I mean, right? They get guys that are basically going to be little puppets for them of what they want to do. I mean, that's all it is.
At least right now, like at least with that stuff, it's former players that were most of them were pretty good to even really good. So, I mean, the knowledge of the game is there, but it's just interesting that that's the name being thrown around a lot. And Gary, I mean, he was in Cleveland last night watching Game 4 of that series.
No, listen, hey Bobby, I think I like JJ Redick. I think he is.
I do too. I like JJ Redick a lot.
I think he's a smart guy. I'm not comparing him to say Tyron. I'm just saying it's weird how a lot of these coaches you do nowadays. It's not really about their experience coaching. It's just did they play, did they know the game, and all that. Yeah, and that's right. That's what it sets up, Sooner fan. Is if Lutz doesn't make it happen, now Gottlieb, you cannot say that Gottlieb doesn't coach. So, what did you think about the logo? First off, did you see the logo?
I saw it, and I thought it looked pretty good. I mean, nothing is going to be the SEC on CBS logo. It's just an all-time iconic logo that is no more because CBS is now Big Ten with those new agreements. So, I mean, everyone knew that it's going to be ABC. I'm a little shocked they didn't throw in the ESPN on it, kind of do ABC and ESPN, but it's a pretty good looking logo.
Yeah, Eric, I'm with you. I like listening to the podcast too. I think he knows ball. I really do. We'll see. I would be disappointed for him, and if he gets late, I think he could be at another team, and I think it would be a little bit better for him. I just think going to the Lakers with LeBron, there's just all the stuff that goes with that for him to be his first gig. I don't think he get
It's a job that if JJ Redick wanted to go into coaching and have a lot of success in it, if he doesn't do well, that might end his career.
That's what I'm saying. It's
really
not.
I mean, it's just that LeBron effect of, I mean, look at Darvin Ham. He wasn't the issue there, and he got the axe. So,
hey, NBA going to NBC, Gary says anything, but I do not like ESPN on the NBA.
The issue with all of that is it's probably going to eliminate inside the NBA because not everybody on that is able to leave their contracts with TNT. I think Chuck is able to, but I know Ernie is still under contract with them because of his the baseball stuff he does for them. So that would be just terrible for the game of basketball to lose the best pregame show around.
Yeah, Hunter, I was hoping the baseball team would play tonight. They got the rain out because they've been on fire. I'd like to have seen them keep that up. They'll have to pick it up on Thursday.
Yeah, so no more non-conference games. Xavier game canceled. That kind of hurts for both sides. For Oklahoma, you win that. Again, that's an RPI booster. Oklahoma's looking to host a regional. I mean, really, if everything goes to plan, they could honestly finish in the top 8 if they were to get a sweep in Cincinnati and then say win the Big 12 tournament. I think that would be very hard for the committee to not put them there because right now they have 6 conference sweeps out of I think 9 series. Uh, they have not got swept. The series that they have lost, they're at 12 right now in the poll, D1 baseball. So there's a lot to look forward to. I think it's going to be a year where Eldale Mitchell gets some postseason baseball.
Yeah, and Sooner fan Jeremy don't know when he'll be joining at what time. He's at Bible study right now. We went in and started. Hey, one thing I'd like to talk about tonight, Hunter, is I don't know if you heard or saw the rankings of the coaches. I don't know who put it out today. If it was CBS, what it was, but they ranked the coaches. And I think Brent Venables was around 34. I'd have to look. But just kind of your overall thought. I don't know if you even had a chance to look at it. Maybe you did.
I haven't seen it, but
I don't know if our viewers had a chance to do it. But honestly, I know a lot of people will whine about it and say, "Why is Brent Venables so low?" Guys, I mean, until he proves something, I think it's about right, personally. Because
exactly, that's the biggest thing is a ranking like that. 1, it doesn't mean anything. 2, I mean, Brent Venables still has to prove it. He started to show signs last year. Oklahoma goes 10-3, losing in the Alamo Bowl, beating Texas though in a all-time classic of a game down in Dallas. But you still have to prove that you are going to be a successful head coach because, I mean, the truth of the matter is he went 6-7 in year 1. First time in 24 years at Oklahoma didn't have a winning season. So,
you know who was on that list that was way too low?
Who?
They were in the low 30s. I think 37, 38. Mac Brown. He should be higher than
that. I don't. It's hard with Mac because, like, you're going off of. If you're going more recent, probably not.
Well, he's been pretty good at North Carolina.
He's been all right. They've had teams that have been good enough to win the conference, and they haven't.
Mac was 37. That's too low. That's too. How could you not put Mac above Brent Venables?
I would have to see the full list to be able.
Should he be above Brent Venables?
Probably so. He won a national championship.
If you're going off.
He won a national championship in, 2009?
Yeah. What are they basing it off of? Because if you go off.
I don't know. What's the criteria, Jay? Was that
I don't know. That's the thing. If you're looking at future, I mean, obviously Brent Venables, his future is brighter than Mac Brown, but what Mac Brown's done, I think, is also pretty dang good. So I don't have the list in front of me, guys, unfortunately, which I did, because people are asking where Sark and Riley was. I don't know. I think Sark was pretty high. Mike was 32, Elko, above Mac and above BV. That's only based off, obviously, what he did at Duke. But I don't know. It was an interesting list, and I don't know the criteria, so I can't comment a whole lot about it. I just kind of wanted to see what the viewers thought about it. But yeah, Riley, I think I can't remember where Riley was, guys. Sorry about that. I'm not sold on Mike Elko. I'll tell you that right now. Not sold. Are you?
I will have to see it. I think he's a pretty good coach. I think that that wasn't a good hire for A&M. I still think they should have got Mark Stoops. I think that was the best hire they could have gotten.
You don't think he's a very good coach if you don't think it's a good hire, right?
I said I think he's a okay coach. I think what he did at Duke was impressive. I just don't really like that fit at A&M. I think they had a lot better of options and kind of just caved into the fan base and went with something that I think when you know that they had Mark Stoops pretty much ready to agree to then go in a different direction.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing with it all.
I'll say this, too, about the Brent Venables being at 34. with what I said earlier about he's only coached 2 years. 1 year wasn't good. 1 year was a lot better. I think he could go from 34 to really high on the list if he has a really good year this year. That's because I think his sample size is so small with the amount of coaching he has that he's going to make a big jump as long as he has a good year. I mean, you could say the same thing with Sarkisian. Take away last year, guys. There's no way he's a top 6 coach. He's only ranked 6 because of last year. In fact, other than last year, he's underperformed wherever he's been. Steve Sarkisian has underperformed wherever he's been, Hunter. Has he not? Until last year?
Yeah, for the most part, yes. But I would still, if I'm making a top coaches list, he's easily in my top 5. I think he's going to have a lot of success at Texas. I think he's building a very good program, and they're going to continue to win.
Hey, here's what I'll say about this, Bobby. I hear a lot of people say that, not just about Elko, about any coach. Well, they won at South Dakota State. They can win wherever. I don't think that's necessarily true because I think sometimes the guys that can coach at the smaller schools, when you get to the big time schools with all the pressure, it doesn't matter if you can coach or not. It's a different animal. And I know X's and O's and coaching. A lot of people say it translates to even if whatever school you go to. I don't think it does personally. I don't think it does because I think sometimes you get into an environment, maybe a team, a culture, maybe it's the pressure, and you just maybe can't live up to it or aren't coaching your best because of everything that goes along with it. I don't know.
Well, and you have to factor that he's going from the ACC to the SEC. I mean, it's a super conference now, already the toughest conference in college football, and you added 2 blue bloods into the mix that I think both are going to have a lot of success year one. So it's a tough job for him at A&M, and I mean they lost a lot to the portal as well.
Yeah, Calico is way too high. Hyper. What was the name of that show? Was it Calico? What am I thinking of?
Caillou? What?
Caillou. He's way too high.
Dude, I am confused on that because if you're going to compare him to a cartoon character,
Hyper reminds me of Caillou, the cartoon.
No, if you're going to compare him to a cartoon character, it's Bobby from King of the Hill.
Well, that's a good one too, Hunter.
Come on, man. Like,
that's pretty good too.
I want to know how
way
you got
too high. Number 11. Don't shake your head. No,
it's a lot of. I need to see the list for one, and then 2, I would like to know what the criteria of the list is. What are they basing it on?
Everybody in the chat right now, Caillou or Bobby from King of the Hill for Josh Heupel? Better comparison.
I want to know how you thought of Caillou.
Just kind of the facial features, man. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't see it. I see Bobby Hill, but that's just me.
Shane Gillis, Grey God says. Who's Shane Gillis?
Good. The comedian. You need to get off here and go watch some Shane Gillis stand up after the live. Hilarious. One of the best
comedians. Oh, people are mostly saying Bobby. Okie Long wants to know any truth to Skip leaving for Texas, Hunter.
I mean, I don't think there's going to be an opening at Texas. And 2, why would he leave Oklahoma with how well he's done over the last few years? I think Texas obviously was a part of his history. I don't think he's going to leave anytime soon for them with what he's building at Oklahoma. And then again, I don't think David Pierce is going anywhere for the Longhorns.
Hey, a couple of things. One, what do you think when Heupel comes to Norman? What kind of a ovation is he going to get? First off. Second off, we haven't really talked about it, but on Twitter today, all the guys, I thought it was a really cool thing the OU was doing with the OU DNA on the text messages and the players saying, I'll be there. I'm locked in for June 21st to the 23rd. I don't know if you saw that, Hunter. I thought it was pretty cool. was a pretty cool thing that they were doing on Twitter for that, for the visits, official visits. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, they never miss with their
Well,
recruiting.
they got a new group kind of running that though. So, right?
Kind of. I mean, I don't know who exactly does it, but I don't think the people that are maybe the head honchos are a little different now, but I think a lot of it is pretty much the same crew as it has been.
Yeah, most people on there looks like they think he should get a standing O or a big applause. I agree. I think the fallout with him in Oklahoma, I don't think it's as big as some people think it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know there were some bridges burned, but I do think, yeah, I think most fans will be positive when he comes back. So warm. Oh, that's awesome. I like that, Mike. I think Heupel will get a warm welcome and a butt whooping. Although, look what Bobby says, and I kind of like this, Bobby. I kind of like it. First SEC game, we can't go in acting soft cheering the other coach.
I think there will
no
be.
No other SEC team would cheer the other coach.
I disagree with that.
Well, who?
I think if you could go down the list for pretty much everyone but Alabama, if the opposing coach was a team that won them their last national.
Did Alabama cheer for Kirby Smart in the first game when he came back to
Bama? Kirby Smart played quarterback and won a national championship, Jay.
He won many championships coaching there.
No, but it's the played quarterback, led them to the last national championship. I think a lot of schools would be willing to do something like that for former player, now coach.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know. But it sounds like that 21st is going to be pretty good visits for Oklahoma, so that'll be good. Recruiting's going to ramp up here now. It's been dead for a while. June, July, it'll pick up. Boo him, Gary says. Boo him. Hey, I will say something. This is a little off topic from football, but I was watching a little bit of the Caitlin Clark stuff tonight on basketball, but I think a lot of people aren't really thinking about it. You mentioned it in a text or something the other day, Hunter, or a group chat, or maybe it was on a live or some video. Jenny Baranczyk not going to Iowa. That's big for Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's a big time job that opened, and to keep Jenny Baranczyk around year one in the SEC. I mean, Reagan Beers, who she landed out of the portal a couple weeks ago, number 2 transfer according to ESPN. I mean, they're building something special. They were so close last year of going to the Sweet 16. I think they might be able to make a deep run.
Yeah, 1,000% Luka ate his booger. First off, second off, Thunder does win in 6 in their alternate uniforms. I do think they win because I think actually tomorrow night I think they shoot the ball well. That's what they haven't done. They are the best 3-point shooting team in the league in regular season. They haven't shot it well. I think they shoot it well tomorrow. I think they win. Luka definitely ate his booger. Luka, the best part of that whole game to me were 2 things last night. Best part of it. One was when, at the end of the game, when Luka flopped and got the call and then misses the free throw. I thought that was hilarious. It would have been a tied game. The other was when they were trying to foul at the end and the ref didn't call it. Luka's been whining about not getting foul calls, and then he wants the foul call. Then he whines because he didn't get the foul call. I mean, it's just like, the guy's unbelievable. Bobby, genuinely think the 2025 class is done before the season starts. There's a possibility. I think they're only taking about 23 guys.
23%?
What?
23?
I think they're taking about 23. They give them 8. What?
It could be less.
It could be 25 too. I mean, I think 23.
I don't think they get to 25.
They probably don't. That's what I'm saying.
I think a lot of it to 25 of scholarships is what I'm referring to is if some 5 stars decide to jump in the boat as well, and you don't turn away those guys, you make it work later on. But I mean, the 25 limit is going to be back into effect. At least it should be. I don't see a reason as to why it's not back this year, the NCAA rules. So I think they stay under 25.
Yeah, hit the like, please. Appreciate it. Let me get to trivia just a second. Let me read Corey's here. Hey, long time no see. How are y'all? Me and my parents are moved into our new house today up in Broken Arrow. Awesome, Corey. That's awesome, Broken Arrow. Yeah, that's great. That's my home. That's where I grew up. Good area. Let me get to trivia real quick. This is going to be a pretty easy trivia. I bet it won't take probably 3 answers here to get this. But before we do, check out Fanstop, fanstop.com. Use code SURGE. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months. Check them out. Officially licensed merchandise. You want to get it. I'm telling you. Football season will be around the corner. By then, you can have 4 or 5 shirts already if you sign up. So go do it. Here we go. Pretty easy question tonight, I think. Just give me Caleb Williams' jersey number for the Bears. Caleb Williams' jersey number for the Bears. I don't think this will take long. Do you, Hunter? Bingo. There it is.
Jay Johnson. Right off
didn't take very long. Jay Johnson there, 18, which were you surprised by 18?
I was until I remembered they just traded for Keenan Allen. The vet is going to get the jersey, especially somebody as big time as Keenan Allen. So,
Wait, did I miss something on that with Gary?
I just saw that he was visiting. I didn't know that he was going PWO.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, hook him. I'm with you on that, bud. I'm definitely with you on that. I don't want any part. I don't know what he wore in high school.
Jimmy, you are correct. He wore 18 in high school. That's part of it, of why he switched back to it. Keenan Allen has the jersey. You're not going to get that from him. And I think Caleb's fine wearing his high school number again. I think it's kind of interesting that he didn't wear 18 in college since he wore it in high school. But
what about what Tress Way did? I thought that was kind of cool.
With Jaden Daniels?
Yeah, with his number.
Yeah. Did you hear how Jaden Daniels might be getting in trouble? Him and Malik Neighbors?
Oh, about the original bet they had?
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys. Sooner fan, I don't even care. What he paints, I could care less. Man, there was something I was going to get to up here. Let me see if I can find it. It was about Tatum. I don't think Tatum plays much this year, if at all, personally. Do you, Hunter?
I think he probably doesn't redshirt, but I don't think that means he plays a lot. And Uncle Charlie, yeah, the Athletes Unlimited League.
Yeah, we were going to talk about that.
Yeah, kind of the new softball thing. I'm confused by it. I hope it works out. It seems like they keep giving these different leagues a try, and nothing's really working. I mean, USSAA Pride was kind of known as the best softball professional team in the country, and I believe they're kind of out of business now. There's been now like 3 different leagues that they've played in. You had the OKC Sparks, so I don't know how it's going to work. I know they were drafted, but they're not able to officially sign, so maybe that's part of it because they have to wait till their season is over to do so.
Yeah, I saw that, Teresa. I thought it was pretty cool too. Hey, Uncle Charlie and Hunter, I personally, I love softball. I do. I don't think professional softball will ever work that great because
I agree.
I think the college softball people would rather watch it, Hunter.
I disagree.
You got players that have been there 3 or 4 years in college. That's what people are watching. They're not watching the 1 or 2 years in pro. I would love for it to work out. I really would. But I thought when Lauren Chamberlain took over that, I thought maybe that would really help and grow and expand. But I don't know.
I think if the right people got into it, and Lauren Chamberlain being one of them, just like a collective group, got some sort of a TV deal, ESPN Plus.
Well, that's part of it.
Play again in the summer outside of the college season, and maybe even try striking up a deal with universities to play at their complexes. And I think it could work if the right people made it happen, get the right sponsorships, find a way to get it televised to where it could be watched at an affordable price, because I think the game is really entertaining. I mean,
Yeah, but
Johnson Hollow, greatest softball player of all time, and in a professional league. I mean, that's stuff people want to see.
Yeah,
I think OU fans would go to, if it was Marita Hines, to watch Jocelyn Hollow and a few other former Sooners or familiar faces from other teams play softball.
Yeah, but the ones in college now with NIL, you can say that they're getting paid already in college, right? Why not put your money? I mean, I don't know. I just, for that to work, Hunter, you would have to have girls that regionally play for a team that's in your area. I just don't know how professionally you would do that to make it. Well, Josh Lano's going to be on Oklahoma team professionally. I don't know. There's so much.
Well, they kind of did with the Spark. I mean, look at who they had. Jocelyn Hollow, Alex Storako. So, and Bobby, I get what you're saying, but I think softball kind of just has a unique fan base to, I mean, the people that are at Love's Field with season tickets, I think if you gave them the option to watch professional softball there, they would go watch it. I mean, those people aren't casuals. They're diehard fans. They love the game of softball, and I think there's a base there for it.
Yeah, people are talking about 3 or 4 man line. You're going to see both. You're going to see both at Oklahoma. Now, I will say that I think if you had a truth serum on Brent Venables, he would rather play more 3-man than 4-man. That's just my personal opinion. I think if you talk to him and you were just you and him or me and him were talking, and you asked him, I think he would probably rather play more 3-man. I mean, you look at the teams that play more 3-man than 4-man. I can go down a list, but Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, they like to play the 3-man. And if you have the players to do it, I think it's a little more beneficial in today's football. And now, back in the day, no. But the way football's played today with the spread and everything, I think you're better off playing a 3-man if you have the right guys to do it. If you don't, we've seen it. It doesn't work. But you got to have the guys to do it. But they're going to play both.
Yeah, they're going to play both. And again, I agree with you on the 3-man. If you have guys that are able to do it, you got to do it. And you got to do it quite a bit.
Yeah, and Grace Lyons decided not to really pursue it, guys. It's not like she wasn't going to do that. That's not what she wanted to do after. Yeah, she's working for FCA. Yeah, that's exactly right, guys. Who was the comedian to check out, Hunter? I can't remember that. Shane Gills. There it is.
Shane Gills.
Yeah. So, but Grace decided she didn't really want to do that. And I'll say this. I think you're going to see it in the WNBA too, Hunter. I think more people watch Caitlin Clark in college than I think people are going to watch it in the WNBA, but I do think it'll kind of fade, whereas in college it was –
I don't think it's fading. I mean,
Hunter,
Caitlin Clark is a generational talent. There's going to be – I believe they have a 40-game season, and 36 of them are nationally televised.
No, I understand this year. I get it.
But, that's never happened before in the WNBA. I think it's going to kind of transform the game.
They won't come close to the ratings the NCAA tournament had.
maybe not. That was 18 million people. I mean,
That's
wasn't
what
it
I'm
four
saying.
people?
The
Wasn't
college sport
maybe in the championship it could be close to that.
possibly.
I
I
believe
just
they
think
said the women's tournament had more viewers than the men's tournament did.
it did. I just think college sports in general are the public likes to watch college sports more than professional, other than NFL. NFL is the king of all of it. And then obviously Major League Baseball. I'm not talking about those, but a lot of the other sports, women's sports, I mean, obviously, college basketball is better than the WNBA as far as viewership, I think. But yeah, Mess has never watched either. Never. Now, what was the team that Tulsa had? What was that? That was like a
Tulsa Spark, and that was
yeah.
forever ago. I think they left to go to Dallas, I believe.
Work out,
Uh,
and I thought that would work out really big.
I mean, they haven't been in Tulsa since probably 2014, 2015.
Yeah, it's been a
I mean,
while.
they weren't there for long, and I mean the game's gotten much
Shock.
bigger since they've
Thanks,
left.
Jackson. That's it. Shock. Johnson says, "What is a WNBA?" You know, I'm not going to get it. Teresa says, "Love Grace." She makes me a Sooner fan. Hey, 2 more days, Hunter. I mean, we can kind of close maybe here in a little bit with you got softball and the regional for Oklahoma starts on Friday. Should be pretty good weather, it looks like, for the weekend, so that's good. I would think OU rose through the regional. So Carvin says you got a dominant nose guard and you're running 3-3-5. That's what works best if you have a dominant guy in the middle. Yes, I agree. So I agree with you. So, hey, appreciate everybody tonight being on here. Who do you think will be the starter? Are you talking about softball here? I'm assuming. I think they're going to start Maxwell game 1. I've heard some people think they would start Deal because they use Maxwell for game 2. I don't know. I think they're just going to keep what
my
they did.
thoughts.
You
That's
think
my
they'll start
thought.
Deal game 1? But you could start Maxwell and Puller after 1 or 2 innings if they got a big.
I mean, I guess you could. You could, yes. But I think you save Maxwell for at least a longer start or just a normal start for game 2 because you're going to be playing either Oregon or Boston in a game that gets you to the regional final.
Yeah, Thunder does win tomorrow, I think. Hey, last thing here. Boston's team pitching staff scares me a bit. Uncle Charlie, they got a really, really stud pitcher, really good pitcher, and staff. Here's the thing. It's all going to, I think the whole World Series is going to depend on Oklahoma bats, though. I mean, the whole postseason, all of it. Because I think the pitching is going to be pretty good for the most part. I mean, you might have a game or two where you allow some pretty good runs, but this lineup should, if they're clicking on all cylinders, be able to score runs in most of these games, right? Unless you face a Kennedy, obviously. But you saw what they did to Texas. I mean, even Texas, Gutierrez there, they played pretty well there. So they're starting to click. We'll see. Here we go. Keeney may start. Jay Johnson. We'll never know. Dalpo says you guys will be on tomorrow at 9:30. Fact or crap? We should be on tomorrow. Yes. Listen, here's the deal. The Thunder won yesterday, and we were on. We're going to keep that streak going. We'll be on for 30 to 40 minutes tomorrow. It'll be game is at 8:30 tomorrow night. So about like it was last night, we'll be on right before half, around half. So join us then. Who everyone has winning the championship. I have Denver personally.
I have whoever wins the West. I don't know at this point.
I would love for it to be Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
Man, it'd be amazing. I don't know. And now, if Minnesota beats Denver, I think the Thunder are making the finals. I don't know if they can beat Denver. But you know what? Minnesota with Rudy Gobert and the bigs, that's struggled too. But I just think Denver's won it last year. It's hard when teams have won it. So appreciate everybody tonight. As always, thanks for joining us. Thanks for Mark Has Boston. Thanks for running the chat for us tonight, getting good comments in there. We appreciate it as always. We'll see y'all tomorrow night. Have a good Wednesday. Talk to you tomorrow. Boomer.